in towards the center, and I feel like the attacks that do end up happening for Evolution, they're only a one-off. They really don't have a follow-up as of right now, and they need to be getting that kind of follow-up. Meekin, and that is exactly the follow-up you want. What a bump.
And this is a fantastic goal from Mikan. I know you were talking before how you want to say you can't get carried by mechanics.
Backward Hargan does get the clear out right now, but it's not necessarily the greatest clear. Really the most comfortable one. Corrado takes it to the center once again. The pressure coming out of Evolution is absolutely stinging right now, and that goal is going to sting even more.
So again, I'm seeing similar problems with the redundant side, and it came from bunching together. Well, yes.
Within a minute.
And I don't want to sound like I'm falling back on sort of cliche excuses right here, but the boost control has just been so monumental, I feel like, in favor of the side of Evolution. Every mid-boost seems to be going that way, that even when Redundant do start to push forward, there's no way for them to get down quickly. Like, Evolution has already fallen back, and then we can see it again on the attacks right here. Mikani picks up that corner boost, has the speed to wrap himself all the way around, gets that complete wrong end of the goal. I'm not going to blame him for that one. It was actually Hargun's challenge in the corner that looked way off base that sort of allowed that opening. And speaking of which, another opening is going to lead to another goal, and we've now got ourselves a 2-0 lead.
This is exactly what happened the last time as well. But then Redundant actually had to get some of the tank. This is just a terrible start out of Redundant, even though it wasn't really by their own mistake.
Oh, I like
still
this.
Feels terrible. That is indeed good equalizer coming out of Redundant.
Oh, you see it coming as soon as Asphyx starts to get physical, just bumps Corrado out of the way. And as that third member, like Corrado typically is, that's the sort of bump play that you need to create that space. Great capitalization on it as well. We have ourselves a tie ball game.
And I'm incredibly glad that Redundant did tie it up and they don't lose because of, oh no. Oh no, Hargan, what happened here, brother? Let's have another look.
This is just a lesson why you can't get too excited. Some defender in the con who looks to throw it down to a teammate needs to make that second touch just to avoid the shot out of Abs Crazy, but Asphyx is there. This is looking like a good chance for Hargon, actually. Mikan tries to get behind it, but won't get there in time as we have a tie ball game once more.
Ooh, 2-2 at 2:22. This does satisfy me. And Nomoto, I hate these kind of positions. That is exactly what Redundant, the goals that they have been getting have been actually pretty decent. Evolution, they had that free goal, and maybe just get another one. Nomoto with a good shot, Abs with a good save to counter that. Mikan can't quite center it properly. Corrado will try a second time, and then Nomoto puts it near corner. And Evolution, it's not a kickoff goal, but they are in the lead once again.
Abs Crazy took the most bizarre Japanese team. They're now less than a minute away from qualifying for the main event.
And that is to reiterate, indeed, they only basically need to hold on, need to score another goal in those 37 seconds. And let me just change my sentence while I'm saying it. This is an absolute shootout right now. Redundant and Evolution are going at it. Of those nuisance positions. Abs gets the clear out, but whips it straight to Nomoto. Doesn't go for the shot, whips it to the side, going for the ceiling follow-up. It's into the center. Mikan, indeed, nuisance player, because he puts the final one into the back of the net. 9 goals in total, but the last one will ring for Evolution.
That was...
Between those are, as Sphinx already is off to a good start, rips a shot on target, Chaotic makes a save, Realize, gets down the pitch, can he get the second touch? An absolute ripper indeed, and well, that is one way to start of the game.
Yeah, I don't even think we actually identified who the player was we were talking about. It is in fact Sphinx, yet usually when we watch these games, Realize is the player who we wind up talking about, and it's shots like that which leads to the reason why. Realize is going to go ahead, put in that first goal in the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, such an early start right now. I realize Claus might be able to get back, and indeed he combines with Dan to get the first one on the board. If this promises to be anything, it's going to be an even bigger shootout fest.
Yep. is a very patient game coming from this orange side, and I do feel like they're just trying to wait for a mistake on the Danix offense. That could be it right there, though. It's a swing and a miss from Sphinx, and immediately lusail attack. They get that quick counteract goal. There was the moment they were biting for.
It was literally a double miss as well, but Danny, you hunted for the demo way too long and left claws. Oh, a good infield pass towards Dan. The shot down, it's only for a brief second as the Danix, they have found their form for a second again, and then, well, I mean, they found their form, and it's Lucille who break away and put one into the back of the net. 5 shots, 4 goals. I mean, it can be better than that, but in a lot of occasions, you won't really find it better.
Just enough to keep Danix from scoring, and then when they find that gap, when they smell that blood in the water, they fight each and every time, and that success rate has been phenomenal.
And I feel like right here, oh, that is a beautiful passing play. That is very much something that Danix can capitalize on more often, because I think that Lucille are kind of expecting that one-man play to come through every
traditional football in that sense, except no defender was actually stepping up to challenge him. Why? They wait for moments like this. 2 attackers cheat forward, and Misty still finds the pass to him. It won't convert into a goal. And now it's a 3v1. Chaotic needs to make the save, and instead just sits back and watch that one sail into the net. 1-0 lead in favor of Danix.
And don't you mean Lucille into the net? Or am I just tripping? Commit swings with that 50 might just actually break out. No follow-up as of right now, but it at least gives a little bit of breathing room so they can go and get some boost on the side of Danix.
And it was so much needed as well. Hold this thought, realize going to take advantage of an out-of-position defense and finally break our gridlock game 0-all. And to be honest, Hyferia, I felt like this was a matter of time because, well, yes, Danix was doing
queuing your own side, not really overcommit whatsoever. We're just going to get you low on boost and even lower until you literally can't do anything anymore. That's when we'll break away with 1 minute 30. That might just be enough as they do have another breakaway. Dan on the back end fails to make the save, and that is a 2-goal lead right now out of Lucille.
93 kilometers per hour after the defensive.
Exactly, the momentum gain out of Danix needs to be very sudden, out of nowhere. They need to get an absolute surge, and that could just happen right here with a goal. Dan also forcing a defensive error right here. The save doesn't get made, and that is the connecting goal that they needed. It's a perfect placement out of Dan. And that might just happen. Danix, they got 1 goal to show for in the last game. That could just be enough to propel them, but that we will all find out as Realize does get off to an amazing start. Solo forces his way through the entire team.
This is such a Realize goal right here. Absolute, near perfect. That said, I don't think you're going to be seeing any complaints on the Danix side. They're going to be happy with that tie ball game once more, as we do approach the second half of game number 4. And Sphinx with an opportunity to go ahead. He makes Realize miss, and Sphinx puts his team out in front.
Now they're regretting that one defensive error even more. An early goal right after for
at this stage. 30 seconds to take us to that decider. Game number 5. Chaotic still going to try to find Realize. I'm not sure how much boost Realize has to work with. The answer is not enough. That's going to be Chaotic off the backboard. Misty is there and gets it just underneath Claus and Dan. We've got 20 seconds. We've got a 1-goal game. And we still have one of the most clutch players on the pitch. This game is not over yet.
Affects its way throughout the entire series as they do make another passing play. Kai not quite getting it through. Sphinx will try and get that counter started. Jocks the last man back. Double commit out of okay, well there was a double commit out of Danix, but there's no challenge whatsoever from Pineapple Cake.
Well, it's a classic saying, right? You go for boost instead of ball. That's all.
Funny little thing, that incredibly low ping, that just gives them a tiny bit of a quicker reaction time. Claus looks to find its way through. Oh no, that's a terrible defensive error. Claus, he is that is an angle and a half.
That just, something about that goal just screamed angry to me. Like, Claus just, I mean, he's bad. Like, you're gonna give me this much space? Okay, sure, here's why you're never gonna do it again. 1-0 lead for Danix, a very definitive 1-0 lead. And if we take a step back, that is currently 5 unanswered goals in favor of this orange side. Okay, well now it's been answered.
What was that?
No.
Very early on. Yeah, as you do, obviously. Yeah, the pinch coming through 110 kp. Able to make the save, but can they actually break out? Good communication out of the Danik side, though. Who was committing to that? Dan now taking it to the skies. Can he get the second touch? Should be able to. Does indeed get it in the third as well to pop it on target. And that is one way to kind of secure a lead, get a little bit of a safety net going. Dan just doing it solo.
That was a beautiful. I sound like I'm perhaps playing. I've just been so impressed with them. The fact that this team kind of, and I'm going to keep talking about them. The unforced error in the middle, straight down the middle.
Well, talk about getting into my one. That wouldn't have been the first time tonight that you called something and immediately got proven wrong. And it's still pretty soon after where the deadlock has been broken. The stalemate has been violated by Danix. And they do put in the first one as Sphinx off to the back four.
Under a minute of life, it is do or die for this Pineapple Cake side. They need a goal to stay alive. They need 3 games to qualify. It's going to be a tough ask, especially with Dan looking to add to the lead, and is successful in doing so. 42 seconds, 2 goal difference.
Oh my, that was the little pogo out of Dan, generating a decent amount.
He let that one slip by and wanted to see, can they punish this mistouch? The answer is yes, and now with 30 seconds remaining, Rachel has the breakaway, but he doesn't get the power. He doesn't need it because the defense misses again. And I am getting flashbacks to Game 4 in our winners semifinal.
Oh no,
Absolutely, and when they don't have boosts, it can be so beneficial as well. Ball in the middle of the pitch. This is going to be a dogfight for it. Kai gets there first. What a shot! Out of time! My goodness, what is that? 182 kilometers an hour. That pitch was monstrous.
Shot as well on a Russia. Save does get made. Apologies for that. Jorksa gets the clear off the backward as well and gets it centered.
As we do see now corner play at the moment, Sphinx will come up high looking to follow through, has the boost, has the touch, and has the goal. Great individual effort from Sphinx, and it's a 1-0 lead for the team looking to clinch it in Game 4.
Oh my, and I did my research right now. And they have indeed. Well, the main difference is that they're just not really getting punished for the mistakes that they do make. They are in attack and are putting on a lot of pressure, and then finally they're actually able to break through. 2 goals lead now, and that might just seal it. As what I was going to say is that they're just not really getting punished to the same extent as they were in the early. And they just need to get something different right now on the side of Exation. It's kind of adapting to Redundant's playstyle and kind of accepting whatever they're playing out. Okay, we'll try and work with it, or we'll try and go against it. But if you do stuff like that on the side of Redundant, there's not really that much you can do against it. And it's just Richie who got that touch right into the opponent. Good shot out of Oregon.
Yeah, and you also have to look at, going back to the first game as well, it's 0 goals scored by Exation at this stage. Like, they have not been able to put a single ball into the net, as it just goes from bad to worse. Hargon, I believe that's his hat trick with that goal right there. Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, Game 2, this one, I think it's safe to say GG. Let's go.
Again, completely misreading the Asphyx, still catches it on the back end and is able to send it towards the other half. And once again, Exation leave the net completely open, question mark?
Yeah, that was a surprise right there. I mean, it wasn't completely open. Panjay, there we go, proactive defense, that's what I want to see.
No, proactive defense is not going to get them anywhere as of right now. Panjay going underneath is very much going to lead them somewhere. Exation get their first goal. That is not a terrible mistake out of Redundant. Panjay just faking out Amazon, and Hargan turning it a little bit too. Ready
to kick off this next play. Panjay is going to chase that ball up in the air, tries to throw it back to Tomato, but pushed it a little too far back, and look who's there to punish. It was starting to look so good for our underdogs, but one missed touch, and it all comes crumbling down.
Yeah, that is what you should expect as Exation. LCT does contribute, at least from the start, to a little bit of pressure, but lucille, they seem to start this game just as they started the last one, and that is with a lot of offensive pressure. Man, it's just they might just break out a lot earlier, and indeed they do. It's by the hands of LCT once again, putting Team Shazoo up 1-0, and lucille are fighting from behind.
Brilliant downfield on its own. LCT now not going to be able to set that one up again. It will get to him, but not with a lot of control. They shouldn't be able to get anything out of this, and yet still it does get in front of goal, but the pinch will go away. Realize we'll get a cross-field goal from that one.
What is up with this region and pinches are absolutely ridiculous. This is the second time.
With no major clear coming out, but no attack either. It will eventually get set up. Realize has a shot, but it will be blocked away.
And now 90 seconds remain. This is always a stressful period. One goal can just make the difference. A flip reset goal and absolute chaos unfolding after the flip reset. He's incited a lot of chaos just with one flip reset. Getting past Valories and then LCT. Maxu, stellar card control. Still, it's a good challenge out of Misty.
Good pass in off the backboard. LCT snipes the angle, gets an unbelievable shot, and that'll put Team Shazoo 2 up.
And this is exactly why I could not imagine that Team Shazoo was not going to get another game here. They've looked so strong at...
Walleries gonna put this away to Maxu, who will be able to continue the clear downfield. Chaotic though will get a shot on goal. Walleries just barely able to push that away from the goal.
Why is he able to do it again though? Yes, he very much is. He is standing so tall in defense, and I guess he must have heard and realized with another shot, you're not going to be stopping those. Call it any day of the week, you're probably not going to get a touch on that. What a pass from Chaotic into Realize. Is still tied up, a good bump happening. LCT ripping the shot initially. I'm not too sure whether he was actually looking for the shot or maybe for a double tap. Maxi was very much looking for that double tap indeed. Did not find one. And Misty, he chased that boost, but he did not get anything. And Team Shazoo, this is what they're good at. Completely boost starving lucille with a Maxi with a perfect 50. Forces it through.
Yeah, he actually came from what looked like the wrong side to get this 50, but he pushes it off of Misty at the perfect. He caught in that midfield, just not really sure what to do there for a moment. Will actually just give the possession away.
I realize getting all the time of the day. Seal and reset coming through as well. Chaotic will take over, and that is once again lucille popping two into the back of the net in a very, very quick succession.
Yeah, and you know what? Lusail has proved.
And it is lucille with an upset, I'm going to say, moving through to the winner's final, or through the final.
I mean, you would call it an upset simply because they're beating the, and another one for the road for Lusail as well. They are beating out the Invite team here. However, you know what? I think most of the crowd would say any team with Realize in it. Shots have been sorely lacking out of Wanani. Looking there at Evolution, 7 shots out of Kawado, 7 out of Nemoto Putty. The amount of shots in this match is absolutely outrageous. It will finally come to an end as Nemoto puts a shot on that will sink. Nemoto is the winning factor for Evolution. They will take game 1. It's good to see those bumps coming out there though. Wanani has struggled so much this series already to get anything into net. They do need to try something like that to open up net. That will be the first one, evening this game up with 1:47 left. And it'll be Kaizen, the sub, coming in with the first goal of the series for Wanani.
Good stuff out of
versus Lusail esports match as well though. I mean, it's the playstyle they're using right now. They are mostly defensive at the moment, which is rare out of Wanani, but maybe just a tactic to get better in the future. Who knows? That's definitely something that I would have liked to see out of Wanani, but it's not going to win him a match. A goal like that just might though. Pass down to Kaizen and struck in so well.
What a pass from Poofy. They were combining with...
That we have seen before, let's call it a feature, is the reverse sweep as well, particularly when Wanani is concerned. So I think there's a lot of people in chat right now almost expecting 1&E to make a comeback here. There's a good start to it as well. Rapupi just sneaks that one through. Took a lot of pressure to make this happen. There were 2 defenders in the way, and yet it is just bullied home past Corrado. I was saying earlier, I mean, they were known for rotational mistakes in the past, and they seem to have cleaned that up pretty well.
And now into the attack, it does get centered. Absolute chaos unfolding once again, and Rapupi forces it in the bottom left. Underneath he goes once again to tie it up. I'm sure, yeah, this wasn't Mikan who put that in the position that it was, and well, it's a way to equalize. Let's just put it like that.
And it's a similar goal, actually, in the style that it was taken in, at least to one of the ones that earned 1&E the win the last game. Just that bullying tactic. Oh my goodness, Poofy! The mind game brings it home and shows what he's worth for 1&E. Just absolutely annihilating the defense there. Ending that chase up, and unfortunately does cost them a free goal here even, as Poofy sends that up. Rapupi nearly gets in the way, but Namoto Putty clears it well. Another opportunity for them. Gets it to Makan. What a passing play! Sends it home and evens up the match.
And if you ever play basketball and you get faked out like that where you break your ankle,
has really set himself up well. He's probably the odd one out for the Shizou lineup. He's been there for a little while now, but Maxi and LCT, you'd normally see him along the lines of, you'd see these two along the lines of playing with somebody like, oof, that's actually going to be a brutal shot back from Shizou, actually.
I'm not too sure what happened here. Mikan, he just outpaced LCT. It's really a simple...
An important match for them, actually, in the fact that, hey, they can even it. 15 seconds left, and we might get our overtime after all.
Mikan, from those angles, has been absolutely ridiculous. That would have been bouncing out, I do realise that, but still, to even get that right across the goal and not bouncing out or whatever is a stellar performance in itself. And I guess your statement that you want to make of it being overtime rings true, or it seems to be ringing true, unless Mikan can do the absolutely unthinkable, takes it past 2, so they've actually centered it as well. There's a shot coming through, and maybe that statement doesn't matter at all. Through the window it goes, because Evolution are 1 goal up with 2 seconds remaining.
And what a goal to take it as well. Great.
He needs to get it out with 0 boost in the tank, and I feel like pretty much every single time there has been a clear good demo. Oh my word. Sure, Valerie scored this, but I'm not even too sure who put in that demo work. That was Maxi. Corrado, goodbye. See you later at your funeral. You can join your teammate because Team Shizou are now up 1-0.
A brilliant way to take it. Shizou absolutely sent that home with no effort involved in the end because of that demo. Clever play out of them, and didn't take the mechanics that they absolutely are able to bring out. Great mechanics actually out of Evolution though. What a goal!
Well, I'm always stunned at those kind of... And Mikan, he's been in that position relatively often.
An awkward touch there. Should have meant Makan had the opportunity to clear that out, but sent it down again to the Shizou side, who now has the opportunity to take this out of even territory. But only if Makan can't take a pop. This one there, Maxiu now, a shot will bully it in the air this time. A beautifully taken goal from Maxiu.
Well, last time we were in this position and Team Shizou scored one with about 15 seconds.
The wall, but Bollaris more pressure on, and with all the time out, they cannot find 2 goals now. They might be able to take 1 home. Makan will make it happen, but now they have to win 2 times in a row if they want to take this series out, because Team Shizou have just taken them down 2-1 in this.
Now, can Bollaris convert this into an attack? It seems to not be the case. With Shizou, their defense is looking on point right now, or at least for that one quiet attack. They need to get it for the rest of the game, though, and they obviously need to get a goal back as well.
Namoto puts a shot on open net. Guaranteed goal for Evolution.
That was very quick, but I at least when they score and prove me wrong, I can correct it in this. their opportunities. LCT off to the backboard. That could have just been a shot, but instead he goes for the double tap and he gets absolutely messed with. Surely that crossbar and post is joking right now for LCT. Omar, where that should have been a goal.
You don't go for that when you're 2 down. I mean, still time, but oh, what a save by McCann. It's not enough though. Reese will pick it up where it lands and send it back into that top right corner. What a shot by Reese here. Really, really just outpacing the Moto.
Whips it wide, Moto with a good read on it, and the second touch will prevent the counter-attack from happening. They're still building it very slowly. LCT once again, instead of ripping a shot, puts it to the backboard, and that allows Maxi to take the shot, and Team Shazoo are moving on to their grand final.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommit here by McCann in defense, actually through his teammate.
It does seem to be the case. I don't see any oddities. I see a few Domini here and there, but that is pretty much all. Misty to the backboard, double tap already coming through, and Misty, it wasn't much there, but he has made his presence known. Lucille with a phenomenal start.
Yeah, and absolutely summarizing.
Shazoo are being forced back on defense more and more. They've only got 1 shot, whereas Lucille, they've got 5, but maybe with the second one they can find it. With the third one they will for sure. Maxi once again converge just a little bit across halftime.
And it was a conversion. I mean, Reese put so much pressure on that. There was nowhere to put the ball except for right in front of Maxio. It was really, really good play to actually make sure that made it to Maxio. And by the time it did, they were guaranteed that goal. So Shazoo, really their playstyle right now, paying off against Lusail. Lusail definitely have that ability to, you know, just freestyle on their opponents. But when they get space, they can be scored on. Not this time though. Misty hammers another one home. Misty, the man we talked about so much as third man, as the coach and the
or rather Reese got the touch and got the clear out. That probably would have been a goal for Team Shazoo, but Misty said, I'm having faith and realized getting this past Reese right into my hands so I can rip it on target, and that is exactly what happened. A good team play. Realize they're feeling it now. Off to the backboard, and the double tap does indeed happen. It's a good read, and that puts them at 1 goal once again.
As that camera changed and I saw realize up
in the center, Reese cleared it out. It's Chaotic with an early challenge. You don't necessarily need to put in the goal, because if you have assists like that, Chaotic, he's served you up very nicely there.
Great pass in, but a really bad choice here from LCT. He went way too Lusail, but at the same time, they can't be making the rotational mistakes that they were earlier either. They have to find a mid-ground here where they're not giving these opportunities to Lusail, and also not leaving goals open. That is an unbelievably good backboard by Misty, but an open opportunity at that as well. Right now in this competition, I would say that Lusail in ability is well above anybody else playing tonight, and they are proving that right now. However, that's going to be a demo to open it up for the opportunity for the first one for Lusail to prove that once again, as Misty sends that to the backboard. It gets sent across by Chaotic as Misty picks up.